Morning, everybody. It's Dr. Kenton wakes up. I'm Dr. Kenton. Hold this up the other way because it's got the name on the other side. This is a mug that I bought at the airport in Seattle. SEA, SeaTac International. I think it's a Starbucks mug. Pretty sure. Yeah, it says Starbucks right on it. In the mug today, Signature Select Kona Blend, 10% Kona beans. They don't say what the other 90% is, and that's fine. You probably don't want to know. Sawdust, uh, insect parts. No, it's probably coffee beans, just of a different varietal. Mr. Winston doesn't like walking in the rain. It's raining outside right now. So he's done his 4 second appraisal outside and then said, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna drain my bladder mostly and just wait for the rest later. Today is the April 7th, 2025, and it's a Monday. Can you believe it? We're back. Monday is back. Woke up at 5 in the morning, and I've started feeling like the right thing to do is start keeping track of the things that I'm aware of or thinking about when I first wake up. And it was a class, just not feeling entirely confident that the class is going along the way that it might otherwise go if I was watching it more closely. Course is designed to run without that type of intervention, but for some reason I just would prefer to have more connection with the students. And that's probably just, anyway, something I got to figure out. Also, a recognition. Here are some things that I think I know about AI and why I think AI, if those things are true, the things that I think I know are true, then we're probably, to mix a metaphor, barking up the wrong tree. Um, what AI is a training, a massive and complex uh, re evaluation of everything that's come before. All this material that we have that we're training our AIs to use is stuff that's in the archives. And what I think people are inferring is that there's some sort of secret sauce from AI that gets around the fact that all it knows about is the past, and that somehow this knowledge of the past, which P.S. the the source material that has come from the past was all generated by people and thus incomplete and imperfect. So now what I'm left to believe is that because they've repackaged the past, the incomplete, imperfect past, no, sorry, an incomplete, imperfect version of the past, but now it's coming from a computer instead of from a person, that somehow there's something in there that we need to pay attention to. I disagree. If especially when people uh, infer that somehow an AI is going to uh, come up with an innovative solution based on everything that's ever been cataloged, everything that's been written and we have access to now, which is a casual allusion to the fact that the library at Alexandria was burned to the ground, and there are many, 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 many important works that are referred to after the fact that we don't have any copies of now because they were destroyed. So, yeah, that's human knowledge, human cataloged knowledge that's inaccessible to us, let alone inaccessible to the AI. So, the AI, because it's, I don't know, maybe it can put on a sexy voice or something. I don't know what makes people feel so great about it. Um, there's anyway. What we need to do, there's there's a handful of little witticisms, aphorisms, that the definition of insanity is to do things the same way again and again and hope for different results. So we're sort of in that territory, I think. Um, as long as we keep doing things exactly the same way, we will discover a new solution. It's got to be in there somewhere. When I hear about all the resources that are being used and expended to try and what advance the advance the capabilities of this um, just as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, maybe AI to me will not be artificial intelligence anymore. It will be antiquarian imperfect or archivist imperfect. Because is there has there been a novel solution to come out of AI that has no precedent? I can understand that if you feel like a job has been fully explored, that you could probably replace several individuals, not all individuals, with an AI. Maybe previously you had take as an example the room full of accountants that are under the employ of Ebenezer Scrooge in the Muppet classic, A Christmas Carol, starring Michael Caine. You know, you probably don't need a room full of accountants to do your accountant work when you have AI and PS accurate data entry. Who does the data entry? So if you assume that the information going into the AI is pretty darn good, pretty darn perfect, then you might be able to rely on it to give you some insight that's pretty good. But if you're thinking that the AI is going to somehow replace your entire unit of accountants, I mean, you can try it, I guess. As a man of science, I would recommend that someone try it. Okay, so we talked, I just remembered this is a point I wanted to make and I forgot to. Um, One thing when I said that the record that's on file is imperfect, not only I mentioned the loss of certain classic works from the um, I don't know who burned the library at Alexandria. Was it Alexander the? No, it wouldn't have been Alexander the Great. Some some group of invaders of Alexandria came in and burned it. So that information is lost. The other piece of it is that we, as human beings, have a hard time finding purpose in identifying things that didn't solve the problem entirely. And what I mean by that is um, when there's a new field of endeavor, to me, one of the first things or most important things is to try to draw a broad circle around the aspects of that field that are, I don't, what do you want to say, uh, ineffective, not better than status quo. The insignificant results are results that are not significant. That there ought to be a catalog of those too. When you've got a catalog of significant results, and that's the papers that get published in journals, let's just assume for the time being that all of those studies were done legitimately and without any kind of improvements to, make the results appear significant. But it would be useful and helpful if what we wanted was to advance the field of understanding, to also catalog the experiments that are predicted to have been an improvement on the status quo but are not for whatever reason. And when we don't have that kind of a catalog, that's also a kind of missing data. Useful but missing. Say the theory suggests that approach X leads to result Z through process Y. And so when somebody comes along and says, well, um, the all the writing in the field suggests that making a modification to approach X, and let's call that approach X hat, approach X1 through the same process Y would lead to an improvement in outcome Z. But the X plus 1 approach actually didn't lead to an improvement in Z, and there's no difference in Z. So that paper gets potential submission to the record that would be accessible to AI is not available. And so when AI later reviews all the existing work that led the human being to say that an adjustment to approach X would lead to an improvement in outcome Z, that it's possible the AI would suggest those same changes. So, anyway, if you can feed the AI a set of reliable, complete information, then the process that the AI uses to digest that and return a result to you might be worth paying attention to. But as I'm seeing, the data that's being imported is not complete and not reliable. So seems to me like the best you could hope for from an AI is let's say you hired the very best archivist, Archivist Prime, the best archivist who ever existed. I don't know what that person's name is. Might not even have a name, might just be, AP, just the initials, Archivist Prime or uh, Prime. And you're getting that person has an encyclopedia, not better than an encyclopedic. Whatever the process that leads to an encyclopedia, that person has the encyclopedic, that level of processing ability. You're not going to get you're not going to get a novel solution. What you're going to get is a digest of the available published material, which is, of course, in its own right now, unreliable and imperfect because that's the source material as well. So, anyway, yeah, please don't view AI as the solution to the problem. It's probably it's probably just waiting for its assignment to the toolbox. It's not tool prime. It's not the best tool you got. It's not even a generic, widely useful tool. It's probably just for making sure that your lit reviews are really complete according to the information that it can access. And please pay attention to a lot of AIs can't access the full published record. So, what are you doing? I mean, what are we doing? And that's where we're at today, Monday, April 7th, 2025. Love you. Bye.